in the room, in the interview room, to talk to us in the hours that have passed. How have you kind of coped with the heartbreak of losing that game yesterday?
I kind of never accept the part that we lost, but I gotta get over myself and realize we had an outstanding season. We end up winning 10 games in the regular season, two in the postseason, made it to the NFC Championship. Man, there's not a lot of players that actually played an NFL game that actually can say that they actually made it even to the playoffs. So making it to the NFC Championship, I know we lost, so I can't really count that as an accomplishment. But at the same time, that's still a great season.
Jimmie, when you look back early in the season when you guys were 3-5, was there a point where you ever felt you wouldn't have gotten to the point of getting to the NFC Championship game, and how difficult was that to deal with?
There was a lot of doubt. There's a lot of negativity in the media. In the locker room, it didn't seem too negative. You could feel the vibes in the locker room. Everybody was still coming to work and keeping their head up and trying to help to dig ourselves out this hole, which we end up doing too. So I just felt like we had a lot of players on this team from that 2019 team, so we kind of led. A lot of those players led the way, and we end up making it to the NFC Championship.
It looks like for all the world that Ambry Thomas will be a starter at cornerback going into the offseason. Can you talk about his the arc, the evolution that he went through from beginning of the season until now?
Oh, he just had to find his confidence. That's about it, man. I'm gonna say he when you come into this league, I'm trying to just piggyback on when I was a rookie in this league, and you just go each game. You just see a guy, who you've been playing with on Madden, on the video game, and you've been hearing this and that guy. You've been watching them when you was a kid in college, and you end up playing against these guys, guarding against these guys, competing against these guys. So he just had to realize that the moment is not too big for him. That this is the moment where he can separate himself from the rest of the rookies, and I feel like he attacked it. I feel like he attacked it well. It took some time, but he figured it out, and I feel like that's one thing about it. A lot of rookies, you'll see them give up plays and all that, but at the end of the day, if they stay healthy and they stay on the field, eventually, the game gonna slow down for them, and then they're gonna make plays.
Jimmie, now that you're an old man in the NFL, you've seen tons of quarterbacks. What is it about Trey Lance? I mean, when you have seen him, obviously in a couple games with practices, that you say, that these are the special qualities he has?
Well, we know he could throw a football. We know that much. Got a lot of power in his arm. We know he's an athlete, all right. Well, we all athletes, but I'm saying he's athletic. So he likes to move around in the pocket to throw the ball, extend downs. Some of the stuff that you see Jimmie doing from time to time. You see Patrick Mahomes doing. You see the Kyler Murray's doing. You see Aaron Rodgers doing. He has that. He has that inside of him, and he's a competitor. He's a big body too. I don't really know how big he is, but he's big and he's physical and he's young too. So his body is only going to fill out even more, as he get older.
Last one, Jen.
Jimmie, you spoke about how there's a lot of guys who were there from 2019. Several of your teammates, especially in the secondary, signed for a one-year deal to stay here. Have you wrapped your head around the fact that the roster could look very different next year? And what do you think about where the future is of the secondary for the 49ers?
Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about that at the beginning of the year. We know this. It's the business side. Each year, the team's gonna change. It's gonna be somebody who's gonna either go to another team, and it could be a heartbreaker. It's always a heartbreaker. Like when we lost Buckner, and when they dealt him, that was, man. He was a great teammate, phenomenal leader. Great family man, and you seen how he helped change the Colts culture over there. So it's same thing's gonna happen, and I trust in John and Kyle, and I feel like whatever guys they probably gonna offer some of the guys who they feel like can help us to go to win a ring this year, this 2022, 2023 season. And they're probably going to draft some people or go to free agency. So I trust in them to do their job, and, that's what they're getting paid for.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Play. Did you talk to him afterwards? Did you give him any encouragement?
Yeah, I talked to him. We was actually locker mates in that locker room, but I told him that one play don't define him. He's not the reason we lost. Everybody had plays in that game that they want to have back. I have multiple plays in that game I want to have back. Everybody in that locker room felt like they was the reason that we lost, and that's why we're the team that we are. We love each other, and we just want to go out there and perform our best. Yesterday we didn't do that, and that's why we're in the situation we're in.
Emmanuel, when you, I know it's still kind of fresh, but when you get a chance to reflect on the season, what'll be the things that you take away from this year?
It was just a crazy ride, I would say. Starting off on 3-5, and no one projected us to be in the NFC Championship. I just love this team, the grit of this team. I love everything about it. Every moving part that played into the season. It's just amazing because I talked to Ambry Thomas, and I just was telling him, like, from the time that he played in Detroit to now that he's to this last game, it was just amazing, like how much he's improved, So it's just exciting to see, and I know the growth will continue to go. And I'm just excited to see where this team will be next year.
I was going to ask you about Ambry. I mean, it seems like heading into 2022, I know that's way off in the distance, but it seems like you and he are the likeliest candidates to be the starting cornerbacks. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and maybe a little bit more on what you've seen from him and his growth from September until now.
Right. I mean, his growth has been tremendous. It's just crazy to see a guy like that come in. You can see he wasn't as confident as first, but his confidence is there, and you can see as he go on the field and play, he's guarding some of the best receivers in the league. He's coming down, making tackles. You can just see his confidence growing in practice, just the way that he communicates to us now. Very excited to see what he's going to do next year.
Emmanuel, when you look at the rookies and with Jason Verrett going down so early, how much responsibility did you feel as a veteran to really help bring them along?
I would say a lot, but coming into this year, I told myself that I'm the vet in the room, and I need to be the leader on the field and off the field. So I already knew that was the task that I had, and I felt like I'd done a good job, but I know I can take it to the next level, and I'm looking forward to doing that next year.
Last one.
Emmanuel, first of all, congratulations on the season. It obviously didn't have the finish you all wanted, but at the end of the day, as you mentioned, it was something that a lot of people didn't expect from you all. Reflecting on the season and you personally, I know it's early on, but what are you most proud of, and what do you look forward to improving in for the next season?
Yeah, I would definitely just say, like I said, a team starting off 3-5, everyone count us out. But no one in the locker room blinked. No one counted us out in the locker room. We always trusted each other, believed in each other, even from the owners, the GMs, the head coaching. We always believed in each other, so that's what I'm most proud of, that we stuck together like a family. And for me, like I said, I just want to continue to be a leader, continue to improve on the field and off the field. And that's pretty much all I can say, and I would definitely be happy to get a full season in.
All right, last one here.
Emmanuel, you mentioned a couple times improving as a leader. What was the most challenging thing for you, kind of trying to take on that role this year?
I'll probably say, as you know, I was on the field, but I was off the field as well with injuries. So I just want to get a full season in, so then I can show the guys how to be a leader on the field. And then off the field, I feel like I'm a pretty good leader. I talk to the guys and encourage the guys and just hang out with the guys.
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel.
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. What did you get out of this season as far as, you saw a lot more playing time in the base defense. How do you feel that your game was able to expand with that role?
I think obviously like being able to play more, like this is the most I've been able to play in the last 3 years. So it allowed me to just be able to pick up on things more. I mean, I got use a comparison like we talk about a lot, but like with Fred, Fred from his rookie year, being able to see the same snaps, get the same reps at the same position for 3-4 years. I mean, you see how well he's excelled. So I think like getting the opportunity to finally like be able to show what I can do on a weekly basis has just allowed me to become a better player and be able to just kind of rely more on my instincts and things that I've seen from prior weeks and stuff like that allowed me to take my game to another level.
Hey, Azeez, by the end of the season, you had the unique double brace look. You were dealing with a knee injury. How hard was this from a physical standpoint just to get through this entire season?
It was tough, I think, for everybody. Obviously, for me with the elbows and the knee, but for me, I think it just like I play hard, and obviously our whole team plays hard. So you see a lot of guys dealing with stuff throughout the whole year that are just going to keep fighting, and that's just what we do. It's going to keep fighting until we literally don't have anything left. So, I mean, obviously I wish there was a next week, and if there was, I would have went out there with hobbling 2 elbow braces and 2 knee braces if that's what it took to play. And then, look at somebody like Dre who missed most of the season, and he's coming back from the groin, and then he has something else that pops up, and he's still fighting. Like our whole team and our whole room, we all deal with our own injuries. Fred with the ankle at one point. So, I mean, we're just going to keep fighting until there really is nothing left.
This is a team that may be transitioning to a new quarterback, a young quarterback in the upcoming season. What kind of progress? What's been your observation of Trey Lance going against him in practice each week?
I think just every week you just see, like, I talked about with myself, the more reps you get, the better you're at. And I think, like, every week you saw, like, early on, okay, he's just kind of just throwing the ball around. It might have been a little careless or whatever. And then, like, over the time period, like, those windows where you might have picked him off in week 1 through 3 while he's on scout team at quarterback, now towards the end of the year, like, he's throwing dimes. And it's like, dang, like, I thought I was going to make that play. But, I mean, he might look you off and throw the ball one way or whatever it was. And I just remember, like, you're getting, like, game reps with this guy, in on scout team. And I think, like, you tremendously saw a difference from the beginning of the year for him versus the end. I mean, that's just what you want to see with any player, but especially, a rookie. You finally getting a chance to go throughout a whole year with the system.
Azeez, will you need any off-season procedures on the elbows or knees or anything? And kind of what's your plan to come back next season and prepare for, a 17-plus game season?
Yeah, I mean, from right now, from what I know, no. It's more so just going to be rest. It's just one of those things where, it's bad enough during the season where, you're really battling through some things. But, obviously, when you have nothing but time to heal up and take care of yourself, then it'll fix up. So hopefully that's the plan. That's what I'm doing right now with our exit physicals and meetings and stuff to truly make sure and find out. But, yeah, I mean, that's the goal right now.
Jaquaski Tart was really hard on himself last night about missing that interception. Did you talk with him, and how do you look back at the season and the accomplishments you all made?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, the entire team, like, really had his back, but especially just when me talking to him, like, letting him know, like, at the end of the day, like, we all play a game together. Like, it's no one moment that I think Jordan Willis put it into perspective last week when a play that he made, and he talked about that one play not being the play that defines the whole team and the whole year, because it doesn't, and that's just the reality of it. Like, every play throughout the game is the play, and obviously at the end of the game when you see different things happening, like, oh, it was his fault, or oh, it was my fault for a penalty, oh, it was so-and-so's fault for whatever. Like, people who don't play the game won't understand it. But when you're in it and you're going to war with these guys, I mean, we were 3-5 where everybody counted us out, and every single week, like, we got to prove to somebody, like, we just stopped caring. We just play for each other, and I think, like, at the end of the day, like, that's how we're going to rally around it to the very end. Like, regardless of what happened at the end, I think we were just all going to be there for each other. So I could care less about him dropping that pass or catching it. Regardless, like, we still have a chance. Every game we play, no matter who it is that makes a mistake, we always believe we have a chance to win, and we still do that. At the end, we still have a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for.
Are you guys good? All right, thank you, Azeez.
No problem.
Yesterday, expressing remorse for that play. Any other thoughts on that? Did you look at it again? Have you had an opportunity to reach out to anybody with the Rams? And do you plan to, if you haven't?
I mean, it's something I would for sure want to. If and when I do see him again face to face, I for sure let him know to his face. That I for sure am regretful and apologize for doing what I did. But I mean, I feel the exact same way after what I said last night. Nothing much more to be said about it.
You had some rookies on your defense this year that ended up playing a lot of snaps. Ambry Thomas, Talanoa Hufanga. What can you say about their evolution? Ambry was a guy who wasn't getting much playing time to start the season, but obviously was by year's end.
Yeah, you mentioned those guys both did admirable jobs. Like, just continued to get better and better throughout the year. And I mean, Ambry's story is incredible in my eyes. Like, because I remember that training camp, and he was kind of on the line of just couldn't quite get it, wasn't quite getting it, and just made a complete 180. Like, I mean, and just came around and came up huge for us in the end here on this run, and was very had a huge contribution to our defense in this team. So, and obviously Huff as well. He was playing for us all season long and did great things for us. And that rookie year is always a special one, and you can go one of two ways after having a good rookie year. You can put your head down, keep working, and have a big jump going into year two, or you rest on your laurels and you don't have as good of a second year. So I know those guys are both built the right way, and they'll come back better than ever.
I don't know if you've had much time to really not necessarily reflect, but just plan forward. What is your plan as far as just recharging mentally, physically, and then starting that process again for 2022?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I seriously haven't had much time in the last few hours to think about it. My sincere belief was we were going to Super Bowl, and so now that that's not happening, I do have to take that time to reflect and figure out what I'm going to do. But there's always kind of like that time where you gotta let the body recover, right, before you really get back into it. But I want to really utilize this time the right way to set myself up to really attack it hard.
Fred, I'm asking just because the way you described Ambry Thomas this summer, teams don't generally cut rookie third-round picks, but did you ever think this guy might be in danger of not surviving?
No, not necessarily. I think it just came off on it. He just hadn't played football in so long. Like, I mean, he's a rookie. He's young, very young. There's just little things like that you need a player to like kind of catch on to, and you need him to just come along to be able to finally give him like meaningful play time and stuff. And it took him a little longer, and that's how it goes sometimes with guys. And they drafted him because they knew of his ability, a 4-3 corner with the size and length and all and instincts that he has. and it just took him a little time to figure it out. And I feel like he is. I mean, he is one of the biggest reasons for why we've made it to this point. Like the fact that he did what he did is incredible, you know. And you know, I've got a lot of respect for Ambry in the way that he battled, because that's not easy to come out and from where he was and to grow and become the player that he was for us.
Fred, obviously you were very honest with us throughout the year when you felt like you weren't playing up to your own standard for yourself, and were able to get back on track. How much of, when you do get a chance to reflect on the season for you personally, will it be just a point of emphasis to make sure that you can get that consistency back to where it was and put a whole season together?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I don't like to guarantee anything. You know, I think everybody was harping on me early in the season about the comment I made last season about, as long as I'm here, there'll never be a losing season ever again. You know, like stuff like that. I'm made of the right stuff. I am. I'll make sure that I come back and I leave no doubt from here on out. And you know, that's all. I am proud of the way that, you know, I finished this deal. But the start and, you know, kind of through the ups and downs of the seasons, that, you know, that's not me. That's not my standard. I've set such a high standard that now you've got to be able to maintain that. And I'm fully willing to, you know, to take all that on. There's you know, there's a lot more work to be done. I haven't even scratched my ceiling. You know, I can be a lot better.
Brett, some ground you plowed throughout the season, but I don't know if you specifically said, like, you were yelling at Trey, or you guys exchange, you know, heated words when you're challenging him to, hey, you need to be better than this, you know, in practice and challenge the defense. Did you guys bond a little? Did you get closer through that experience, like two competitors kind of going at each other? And did you gain respect for him for the way he did respond to that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you always for sure get closer with teammates when you're competing, you know, against one another day in and day out. And I think me and Trey are very similar in a lot of ways, you know, on and off the field, just as individuals. And so that's why I feel like him and I can relate to one another. You know, I think he's as professional as they come, very mature for his age, and I think he's built of the right stuff to continue to grow and get better, you know, as he goes throughout his career.
Fred, this roster had a lot of guys who were there for 2019, and I know you don't want to compare, but have you kind of wrapped your head around the fact that the defense could look very different next year? And then also, what did you learn about yourself through all of this?
I'm sorry, say that first part of the first part of that question one more time.
While it's very different than 2019, have you wrapped your head around the fact that it could look even more different next year?
I see. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's just like, you know, that's how this business goes, right? You know, it's never the same team year in and year out. You know, there's always going to be turnover, and of course, I want us to try and keep as many guys as we can, but you know, that's just the business, and whatever happens, and we're going to ride with whoever we got come next season.
Last one, Barrows.
It sounds as if you feel like Trey is sort of a kindred spirit to you, and I'm just wondering how often that happens with an offensive player. I would think that that's fairly rare for a guy who usually plays defense.
Yeah, I mean, and when I say that we're similar, you know, I speak in terms of, you know, two young guys coming in, you know, just being mature for their age and that type of thing. And I think as a rookie quarterback, you know, on the scout team, it's hard to kind of like get after, you know, the 4-year middle linebacker on the other team, right? But he does it through his play, and I think as he grows more comfortable and confident in his game, like that's when you know, the chirping and all that kind of stuff will come out, just like it did for me. Like I wasn't chirping at Jimmie, you know, in my first year, but now I'm the guy who's kind of like, you know, really from a vocal standpoint getting after people, just because I feel like that's my way of getting the best out of everyone, you know, and making it a competitive environment. But, you know, I think just with the conversations that I've had with Trey off the field too, I feel like we're very similar in that way.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, guys.
Hey, Faithful, don't forget to click here to subscribe to our YouTube.